One of the lower down teams, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's just kind of how they have positioned themselves, as we said. Pretty decent opportunity for them to get some experience at top level Counter-Strike, and they did pick up a couple of nice rounds in there. But we now move on to Vertigo. They'll get a CT-sided start at the very least. However, this is somewhat saw's playground, so their chances starting to dwindle. Lower bracket looking likely. We'll see. Babos, the underdog, if they can, live up to the underdog tale that we so love, especially us plucky Brits.
Indeed, and as you kind of mentioned, we need to embrace the Darwinism because this is natural selection, and I think the tiger might be coming for the antelope. If Inferno's anything to go by, full A retake set up from the CT side. They got a lot of nades, and they dropped the bomb, okay? This is going to get very interesting now. They need to get this planted really quick, and this Molotov surely is going to go into default any second.
One would assume so. They get a lot of nades on the T side, though, as well, so really keeping them at bay. Where is that Molotov ending up? Oh, it's actually going to end up on the deck as Mutiris gets aggressive. Stacking on top of default. Flashes coming through to try and allow the CT side away in. P2K, don't see that very often, but U-Jerk's going to be on it. Mutiris on top of the bomb with his knife, and it's U-Jerk's to find 3 in as many seconds. sAw will get the pistol. It looked good for just a sec for Babos, but they can't get it over the line.
He knocked that out of the park. That's all I'm going to say. That was amazing. Beautiful stuff. And, yeah, kind of picking up where they left off on Inferno, which is kind of formidable. Yeah, I mean, we're again, it's kind of a similar story of, so I kind of mentioned the natural selection line of, Babos have got on a tall order here. And, if you want some teams to be ranked highly in the world, like sAw are at the moment, then fundamentally they need to beat a lot of teams that aren't that highly ranked. Otherwise, you're never going to get the disparity to climb the rankings. That's kind of the fact here. Someone always loses. A lot of life lessons to be learned from the cast today.
Yeah, that is true. It's been a long one. It has been a long one. We started at, about 2:30 we were our time. It's now 9 o'clock, so it's been a pretty long one, to say the least. Ivan looks set to hold this AK. He's got to be careful, though. They're after him. They are after him. He can hear him. And the aim punch too much to deal with. Easy $600 coming in for Roman, so quick 2 on the board. We'll have the early buy come through from that Babos Gaming side. Need to find success with it, though, as it is, I think, pretty important for them to just convince themselves that they can get around and have that confidence come back to them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some nice individual plays in that first map. There's no doubt that some of the individuals can frag well and, good individual plays. It's just more like, as I was mentioning on Inferno, for someone with a trained eye, it's very obvious that sAw have a much better kind of grasp on the macro game, and they're consistently getting the map control, making good decisions, and not going into stacks. And wow, that is Roman. That's just not fair.
Melancholy on top here, though. Ruling. Yeah, Roman going to trade him out as well. A dirty little round coming out from Roman. A lot of frags going the way of sAw, working their way up the ramp. And again, a deficit for Babos to come back from. Oh, Story awkwardly getting off the bomb. Might actually get dropped here because of that. He will indeed, but only for the one. There's still enough manpower to go around. They'll finish the round off 3 in a row, then being secured off the back of that pistol. And just playing thick and fast. Nothing too crazy in terms of the methodology there from sAw.
It's the same story on Inferno. Is they're running a lot of their standard rounds, and they're getting the control they want. It's also, why would you overcomplicate it if there's no reason here to run really intricate rounds. It's more like play our defaults, get the map control we want. We're going to get a lot of entries, and they have been during this series so far. There's no need to take risks and gamble into area and call on all-in rounds. And actually, on this one, they have recovered an AK. That's onto a player with body armor. These guys need to commit pretty fast on B, or that AK is actually going to be here.
Nice pickup coming in from Melancholy. Yep. Rulen not looking too bad then. However, Roman's got a lot of information over on the A bomb site. This round is still wide open for my money, but Roman's so deep. They're expecting, they're clearing angles. Just on that stronger rifle, nearly does get traded out. Getting that Molotov down, Ivan buys into the bomb plant, and it's Story to take his head off. That was close for a second. However, sAw will get it over the line.
Yeah, a little bit dicey, but they have kept the other anti-eco so clean that it's not really the end of the world. Statement of intent here as Double Orb rings out. A good spawn for Ivan. Of course, we saw Reesk. We're going for Reesk, aren't we? We saw Reesk on the first map. He was AWPing a lot, so presumably primary AWPer. And I guess Ivan, he's got the spawn here. He's going to take it and peek down towards B. Just is in the area, but I think the smoke not going to allow a lot of opportunities. No chances just yet.
No chances just yet continues to ring true. Much slower this time from sAw. They've been having some really fast rounds. All thought out. Roman, though, look at him. He's crept out pretty aggressively. Just going to go for the kill. It's actually the boost that's going to come through. It's going to be good. It is. Down goes Zed. And that is the B bomb site. Super vulnerable. Molotov towards bridge. They should get the bomb round here momentarily. And that is the plan. A slow retreat down ramp and the bomb to join the players out on B.
Babos, yeah, they're already positioned for a save here. They're not really reacting. I guess the call came in immediately. They were just so far out of position that this isn't on. And of course the double AWP as well. Retaking that. No kits. It's always going to be rough. Can't save that AWP though. And okay, they really need to keep these guns alive. They have got the loss bonus to buy again in the next, but that is contingent on, well, minimum 2. 3 is preferable. And these guys can't fall by the wayside all. That buy is going to be a massive question.
Ooh. Both going to go down, Alan. Both going to go down. So, that's 5 in a row for sAw. Yeah, and the money, as you mentioned, is really not there. Should be a 6th coming through on that side of sAw once again. You know, really solid start.
It's 5 alive. It's the money is blossoming. Wow. Babos. I don't think we've seen that many pauses from them, have we? I don't recall. So I kind of don't recall so many. But that now, or going into this next gun realm, this is kind of, you know, got to slow the pace here at least. At least try and make a few adaptations. See if we can maybe get a bit more aggressive across the map. Clearly there, the one man on B didn't have a lot of fun.
Big flash. Story with the peak, Story with the find. Move on. Ooh, that is a nice heady coming in from him. A second as well. You've got to be joking. Going to get his hands onto a nice rifle. That smoke's gone a little bit under the map, so doesn't really do him any favors, but all the same, there's another AK to be retrieved. Beast is going to go for it. And, well, unfortunately, risk-reward doesn't work out for him. Just will take him out. So we'll see here. Rulon might have, yeah, his little hero moment stolen away. Davin is the last line of defense. His tip of his head has been spotted. He's going to try and strike up. Swing and a miss. Dead on the D. Also misses. That was it for just a second there, but does not convert. They are relying on individual hero plays to bail them out, and it's just not coming for Babos.
No. Yeah, it's I mean, those are some nice 1Ds from Melancholy. Had a 1 or 2 earlier in the half as well, so fairly proficient on that front, but it's just getting a little bit scary now. Ivan double AWP again. He's got a nice B spawn. Didn't get an opportunity last time. Or I guess 2 gun rounds ago. Last time he was killed by the boost, and it's not gone well again. Ivan's not having a great day on that B side of the map, and Sune is about to be under question as well. Orpa's going to hit the deck. Roman gets that one. U-jerks with another, and this A defense has crumbled. Wow. Babos is so far out of position.
Pretty Disastrous. 4v2, probably just move to save on this. sAw going to find themselves that 7th. Kind of scot-free. They are sticking around, hoping that maybe a Hail Mary nade. The low HP players are just so far away from the action. If they stick on this one, then once again, we're looking at very weak follow-up buys, Alan.
Yeah, they can't buy in the next. Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate kicker, isn't it? We're not even saving into repeat buys, so this is going to be a half buy at best. sAw, after that initial losing streak on Inferno, which wasn't so long, if it was 4-0, they have just turned up the wick here. Yeah, this isn't really a contest at the moment. We'd love to see Babos. You know, maybe a map win or a match win here is simply out of the question, given the disparity, but I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really qualified to say in the sense I haven't watched a lot of them play, or if any. But I get the sense they're not playing their own game at the moment. They're just playing to the tune of sAw completely.
Yeah, and I mean, you just, when you are the underdog, you at the very least have to come in with, you know, this sort of braggadocious confidence. Nice boost up move. Just let sAw be the confident ones, be the ones on the T side to just have their fun, almost. So we'll see if Babos can turn things around. Timeouts. Don't know if timeouts will save them, though. It just looks like this is foreign territory for them, and that they're just not used to the way that the game functions at this high level. Okay, an awkward spray down for Just. He does eventually find his mark. Mutiri's farming right now, 13-2, might I add. But it does look set to be an 8th hit, as sAw mow through the B defense.
And I also kind of, for everyone watching, I guarantee the individual disparity is not nearly as big as, at least in terms of mechanical skill. I bet there's almost no difference between these two teams, or very little. Probably not loads in it. The big difference is that sAw are just much more well-oiled. Their defaults are clean. And, you know, they're always poised for a trade. So even when Babos do get an opening kill, instant trade. And they lose that. And, you know, across the board, they're, you know, in every respect, a little bit better. And you add that up, and that's how you end up with a performance like this. Because there's just no avenue, really, for Babos to get an advantage. Does feel a bit deflating after we were treated to Sinners Falcons earlier, which was just an absolute slugfest.
Yeah, I know, right? It's definitely on the opposite end of the spectrum, so to speak. Babos going to get that first time out, though, I suppose, Alan. And hopefully they will finally find themselves around. As we take a look at the mess left by the construction workers. Terrible stuff.
Indeed. Pizza box.
Just about. I think it says pizza. I'm not
sure. Have you watched the Netflix documentary about the New York Mafia?
I have not.
It's called... I can't remember what it's called. It's got fear in the title.
Right,
but the point I was going to make is, at one point they were claiming 2% of the construction costs on every building in Manhattan.
Wow.
It doesn't sound like that much, but if you're 2%, it would be billions.
Yep.
Making some money. Maybe they own 2% of this.
Perhaps.
Skyscraper.
Perhaps they do. I mean, that would, you know, it's not finished, so they've got something to answer to for that one. It's not been finished for a long time. And some may argue that it will never be finished. I know there are a few Vertigo haters out there. U-Jerks will pick up Zed. Looks good for the B take then, as it was just him ultimately defending for now. Simple 1-2 punch here from sAw, number 9 looking likely.
Yeah, it's a kind of a... To lift the veil, it's a tricky one to commentate, isn't it? Because... even... I've watched a lot of games that are 16-4, where I was excited about them. and they felt close, and they were close rounds. It just kind of feels like sAw can do what they want here on Vertigo.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're in a 4v4 save situation. They're not even confident in their, retakes. They're just like, oh, okay, if we get 1 or 2 opening kills, we'll work off of that. And I think sAw have read into that it's like they just need to have a good opening 30 seconds, and they'll pick up a round. You know what I mean? Look at how much time they have to hunt. Look how effectively they're able to hunt as they take 3 of the 4 players that remain. It was a double up setup as well, so Babos just really, really stuck for ideas, and we're not even at the tail end of this first half, let alone into the second.
Scary stuff. Scary stuff. It's also a bit of a shame if it continues in this vein that they don't just get to play more rounds and get more data essentially on how their play matches up against, a professional level team. That's kind of the real kicker for them. That's the way they're going to view this tournament. It's all just to gain experience. Yujik's taking a lot of space. He hasn't cleared sandbags, and no nades went onto there. So this could be it. 2 for Davin. Melancholy's going to peek out. Couple freebies for himself, and surely just is not long for this world. So there you go. sAw get aggressive. Their most aggressive round for probably the whole half, to be honest. And Babos are ready and waiting.
Well, as soon as we sort of start to talk about the nature of the rounds and the fact that it's been so one-sided, we see Babos get on the board. Can they keep it rolling? Can they make it interesting here on Vertigo? Difficult to know. This 11th round will kind of tell all in that sense. Ivan once again working off the back of a spawn. They're not giving anything. I think, as I've said, sAw just understand that if they can dictate the first 30 to 45 seconds, then the round should be theirs.
Back on the defaults. I was a little bit surprised sAw went for such an aggressive round when the defaults were obviously so good for them. But now they're back. Pace is dropped. Working A. Sandbags this time clinically cleared. And here we go. They're going to swing up. They don't think the AWP is here. But it's not on the ramp side. It is on this side. Good trades though. Roman collects a second. Ivan, that secondary AWP. And wow. I haven't seen a Roman execution like that since Caesar.
Nice, lovely reference there. Yep. But certainly a solid work their way back in. Getting number 10 on the board. Melancholy, Rulon, the only player. And they know pretty well where he's at. Roman will take him down. And Roman with the ace, in fact. Lovely stuff. He was hunting for it. And he gets his just desserts for the bailout in that round to keep this streak rolling.
I've been waiting the whole series to get a Roman reference in. And finally. Had a load of them dreamed up. But wasn't the moment.
Do not want to be forcing those references. It is a dangerous road. You know, if you become a jokey gimmick caster, you've got to watch yourself. But that was pretty good. As far as they go on, that was pretty good. Zed?
Okay.
They're getting a bit overconfident, I think, in some of these rounds, so they do need to be careful. We have seen Babos take them over the line despite weak buys and weak moves. Zed will actually get them their sort of first clean man advantage in quite a long time.
There's also a difference between, we say disrespecting teams a lot, and what we really mean is kind of willingness to take aggressive fights as a team or play contact heavy. But there's also disrespecting in terms of just kind of doing stuff that doesn't make sense because you just think it's going to work. And maybe that syndrome is coming into play a little bit.
Possible. Ivan still stands at the back end of B, though, to make this one very doable. And indeed, they will get the second on the board. Still got a 10-5 on the horizon. Just saying.
Bit of a way off just yet. Bit of a way off. But yeah, looking a little bit better. I don't think it's not. I mean, you might get the impression that sAw is making mistakes and Babos, that's why they're winning rounds, but not necessarily. I think sAw have done a lot of these moves at other times during the half. It's just that now they're getting their bluff called a little bit. Oh, look at this mid-spacing, though. They're so willing to stay aggressive all the way out, and I don't think Ivan's ever going to be ready for that, and indeed he isn't.
Nope. Picking up the pace seems to have worked this time around. Davin going to go down as well. 2 remain then. And we've only just had 30 seconds. Nice pickup coming through from Rulon. Will, at the very least, do some damage on towards sAw, but they have read in pretty well here. Got the bomb on the way towards B, and B is indeed open, so should be all said and done in just a few moments here. The save call pretty much already coming in. Are they going to get the opportunity to save weaponries? The sightlines crossing there. Who will move first? Who will find the impatient play? Story against Reesk. Reesk actually going to start moving backwards. Story wants it. He's the one with all the money. They are fully hunting here, just having a field day. Nonetheless, the defense, oh, not too bad. Muterius gets the spam onto the AWP. That's kind of the important one. But a nice touchdown nade means that Rulon will be able to save that and move away. 11th round nonetheless for sAw on the board. And now working their way towards a 13-2.
Been pretty flawless. I do actually think for a team like sAw in this position, of course, there's a big tendency now to take your foot off the gas, but you got to think about the tournament holistically, and in terms of trying to be a top professional team, you need to always play your best Counter-Strike. You need to get these games done. I mean, look at it from the perspective of sAw might need to play again in 15 hours. So if you let this slip on and go long, that you're denying yourselves sleep and rest and prep time is a real consideration. So they need to keep this clean and just get this done and just make it straight into that next round.
And we're obviously sort of on their side with that, I think, at the very least, considering that they are clear favourites. It does also feed into your storyline that it's like, you should be getting this cleanly and quickly. Speaking of, the B-bomb site falls pretty quick. And it's going to be another save angle coming in from Babos. Just no space at all. Given away. Story holding the backside with the AWP. Thins the numbers. Might find it a bit hard to clean up this hunt, though, I would imagine.
They're sticking around a little bit more than previously this time, but oh, this is the heart-wrenching save, because this is one where you kind of know it's over, the amount of rounds you've given up. Bit of a kicker. They saw streaking their way into the following round. Of course, we're playing 16-team double elim here, so it's a bit of a way off. Imagine IM groups for everyone watching, and just add an extra round on the front. That's kind of the sort of deal we're at here. So sAw still need to win. If they go up a bracket, I think 2 more best of 3s to make Pro League. If they go lower, I hate to think, probably 5 or 6.
Well, let's see. sAw looking for that all-important 13-2 to just start hammering in the final nail of the coffin. Just will take out Zed. And that should start to do it, to be fair, Alan. Very quiet after that first frag. You know, Babos just don't really have nowhere to go.
These double AWPs, be it sAw's success or Babos' failings, they just haven't felt activated, have they? When have we seen sAw going into these AWPs in a bad situation? I mean, that might have been the best chance I've seen for a while, that opportunity. Even then, he was half blind. Yeah, 5 on 3 now. There's no saving, obviously, in this 15th, and sAw are out for blood. They won 13.
I certainly think it's going to come for them. You might even argue like the double up setup has just sort of hindered them, because they've slowed down their play so much since picking up the AWPs, whereas, like you're saying, they needed to get aggressive into the faces of their opponents. Ivan, oh, the window's slipping away. He's actually going to find a couple, so unfortunately there's just not enough time unless this hold ends up somehow being successful. It will not. And that's going to be all she wrote for the first half. 13-2, saw much, much better, of course. They had a slow start on the first map, but once again, another massive streak coming in from them. We shall have to see how things pan out into the second half. Babos not looking too good.
From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm #1 like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. 13-2 at the turn of the half. That tells you all you need to know. Babos looking to stay alive. It will begin here with the pistol, which they are as yet to really find great success with or off the back of. Four-man stack out towards mid, slowly but surely with a P250 leading the charge.
Oh, this could be a meat grind, and U-Jokes is coming over. They're going to have 3 in defense. Okay, actually, the player comes off and onto B, so that looked really scary for a second, but it's looking a little bit rosier now. There's so many players on this B side of the map, and that's where they want to go.
Charging in, flying through. Story and Mutiris both going to hold the line. So much damage coming in just a matter of seconds. Bombs hit the deck. Davin and Ivan, now just Davin, the only ones to get anything done, and they cannot. 14 comes through. They absolutely needed the pistol to survive. Would not be surprised with no bomb plant here that we're going to see, you know, a 16-2 quite easily.
Just so confident from sAw. They just heard nothing A early, and they just said, it's not A. Let's lean back that way. They had 3 on B. 1 was close in CT spawn, and I mean, you need a phenomenal pair of entries to make that work as the T side. There's just so many players to deal with, and it's not an easy side to kind of, without utility at least, on a pistol round to isolate off CT and prevent crossfires. And yeah, all too easy for sAw. U-Jerk takes a bit of damage, but should think better of fighting too much now to stay alive and get this match over the line.
Zed. Oh, trying to find that entry. It's just not presenting itself. Flash forces them back. Can still stick around. Close, but no cigar. That's going to be down to just 3 then. Oh, and a dink through the smoke does land. The MP9 dealt with swiftly, but flank is here. And round over. Maybe even game as well. It's very, very likely, I think, that it will be game over. We've got another force to come, and the series, therefore, will come with it. Vertigo does often move fast, but not usually this fast.
No, this has been... Inferno is actually quite a slow map.
Yeah.
Probably by virtue of Babos playing a lot of slow T rounds, but this has just been relentless. 13 chances. This buy is, let's be honest, pretty dreadful for the T side, and I think they're absolutely sending it. 4 over towards A early, make that 5. Well, back to 4 after U-Jerk gets the opener, and I don't know, writing's on the wall now, I think.
Certainly looks to be, mate. Certainly looks to be. Story, if you can find this one, I think would seal the deal. Not going to go too wide for it, though. A bit of respect being shown, despite the scoreline. Just biding their time. They know that they can get this one done, thanks to that opener. Roman finding Zed. That's one of the big rifles taken out. They will continue to just peek in. Flash does throw Story off, but surely enough has been done here for him to finish the game here and now. 4 HP the difference. And it will indeed be the end of this, well, difficult match to be on the end of, to be quite honest. 16-2 and a 2-0 in the finishing there. Not too much to add. The scoreline, well, scorelines plural really do speak for themselves. Babos were one of the weaker teams coming into this tournament, and they continue to be so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rough game. We kind of told it straight, I think, from the start that this whole tournament for Babos is just